Now, when reassembling everything, remember, just make sure that all the pieces here are correct. You don't want to lose the rubber washer or anything. This just sits on top. Now this piece connects to the bolt. Now with the bolt, you want the fatter end of the metal to go into this hole there. That just sits right in there. And then it slides back into the gun. Oh yeah. Now you're gonna want to pushing this forward. Just pull the trigger. Just make sure you're holding down on the trigger, otherwise it'll be really hard to get it back in there. If you push it forward, it'll click once. Pull the trigger, and that will allow it all to fully go back under. From there, just push the spring in with this thing. It's a little difficult. Kind of like a Zippo lighter if you ever change the flint, just of a larger scale. And then the bolt dapper just screws right back in there like that. Right now, after doing that, the gun is cocked, so put it on fire, discharge it.
You said cock and then you said discharge.
Bolt stopper. Back on like that. And if you want, you can put this piece on now. I prefer to put it on after I have the top rail mount on. Just makes things a little bit easier. If you want to, after this is all back in place, to make sure everything's well, you can pull it back, make sure everything's running smoothly, because you don't want to put it all back together just to have something be out of place and ruin the gun for you. Now there's kind of a trick in getting the top rail mount back onto this and this, because the top part here where the bolt pulls back needs to fit in with that groove of the charging handle right there, if you can see that. But also there's a little metal screw which happens to be the screw that you take out if you're gonna modify it to be hopper fed for the split feed, which the Gen7 automatically comes with. That screw right there. That screw needs to fit in this square divot. You can see that, this one. So you can't just connect these two together and put the rail back on. It doesn't quite work like that. I recommend at first just sliding the rail mount back on, which I seem to be having trouble doing, and then hook it on like that, so the charging handle is connected to the bolt. Then slide this in. From there you kind of just have to manhandle it together, and then it'll be back on nice and snug. So now your pieces are all connected again. So take your screws. Remember, the first two with the washer go in, just tighten those right back up.
You have beautiful hands.
Just screw it's a simple, you can just use your hand, it's real easy. I say that and now I can't do it. Here's that piece I was talking about. You could put it in whenever. There's no real way to, there's no set order you have to put it in. Just there's a hole right on the side, right in between the bolt stop and the bolt dapper. That's where this little metal piece goes, and this top piece slides in the top groove there. So just line everything up and push it in. Real simple. And again, just make sure you have the right screws in the right holes. Once that's back on, the only thing left to put on really is the magazine housing. Again, make sure that the button is on the right side of the gun. If you shoot righty, it would be where your trigger finger is for easy access to it. And that will just slide right up in there. And two of the screws will be larger than the other. The ones that are larger go on the side with the magazine release button. Where is that Allen key? There it is. So just put those back on. Don't make the mistake I made. 98, Tippmann 98 Custom as my first paintball gun. And you could chop paint in that all day. You could throw it against a wall and not worry about maintaining it. Pick it up a few months later and it would be perfectly fine. Not the case for something like this. I recommend taking it apart and cleaning it after every day's worth of playing. Play all your games, but then definitely go home and take care of it, clean it, because you don't want anything bad to happen. If you ever chop paint in it, definitely don't let it sit overnight, because the next time you pick it up, it most likely will have problems unless you clean it, and you don't want that. Again, the Gen 7, huge upgrade as far as the air intake from the Gen 6. This piece just snaps right in, and the Flexi air stock can go right over it once you screw in an air tank. The air tanks that are provided are either a 5-ounce CO2 tank, which again isn't that, a 5-ounce CO2 tank is not a lot, but this is a 3000 psi compressed air tank, and 3000 psi is a lot for something this small. So if you're going to go ahead and buy one of these guns off RAP4.com, I highly recommend an air tank, because I mean, it has a gauge so you know how much air is left. You can use it in the cold, you can fill it up in the cold without any problems, and it's just awesome.
Universal.
You don't have to worry about CO2 clouds or from getting new. You don't have to worry about it being cold. Fuck it. Yeah. And then just this, of course. And again, as you're reassembling your gun, if you're worried that maybe you put something out of place, just cock the charging handle back and just make sure it's operating smoothly. There's not a lot of pieces. It's not like a Tippmann 98 where you take it apart and there's tiny bits everywhere. One thing, if you're new to a magazine-fed gun, the way these work are there's it's like an airsoft gun. When it has there's a spring and then a piece that's pushing the ammo up. The dial right here, you hear a click, that brings it down. And then this button right here releases it. Now, I don't have any paintballs with me right now, but if you screw yours down a bit, you'll notice on the inside there are ball bearings there. Ball bearings are there for a reason. You're probably wondering what the right paint would be used for this. Now, if you lay a paintball on there and then push this little piece down, and the paint falls right in, then that paint is good quality to use. If you lay the paintball on here and bring it down and it doesn't fall in, then it's either partially swollen or dented. Something's out of place and it's not perfectly round because it won't fall through. Now, yes, you can tap them and they will fall through if that's the case. And yes, you can use them. You just risk it chopping in the chamber, maybe. If you do play with this gun and you come home after a day playing with your friends, empty your magazines. The first time I played with this gun, I went home and I just threw it in the basement and left it there for a while. When I came back for it a couple weeks later, the paint inside had swollen and they were really hard to get out, and it involved popping some of them, and it was a mess, and it's a bitch to clean. So just empty your magazines when you're done for the day, and you should be good. Clean your gun so it maintains good operating standards. That's pretty much it. If you have any questions or if I wasn't clear on something, post a comment below and I'll try to get back to you guys as soon as possible. Have a nice day.
What a fag!